So there's a lot of reasons that I didn't and don't need to record this today. I don't need to be here. There's no reason for me to be here. There's no pressure for me to be here. I don't feel stress or like I have to get a video up. But something about me, I'm not here for fun. I'm not on YouTube just to have a good time, although I enjoy it very much. That's not why I made my channel. That's not why I'm here. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm here because I have a job to do, okay? And today that job that is on my heart is to talk a little bit about how you experience adversity. How do you personally experience adversity? When you are overwhelmed, how does that impact you? And how do you deal with that? Because I think a lot of us are going around thinking that when we are overwhelmed, we have to hold that and take that for ourselves. That there's some sense of discipline that we have to push ourselves when it comes to things like emotions and overwhelm. So when you face adversity, when you face a challenge, a lot of us feel like we just have to keep going. We have to keep moving. It's really hard, right? And we don't surrender that perspective, right? Which leads to more overwhelm because we're not letting it leave. We're not letting this overwhelm leave. We're not letting the energy leave our body, and it's just creating more stress and more tension. Now, why are we talking about this? Why am I bringing it up this week? Because I want you to know that when we are given these challenges, it's not because we need to be better disciplined. It's not because we need to do more, try harder, or be more independent and capable. It's for us to remember that we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to always keep it all in. Now, I know some of you just heard me say that and are like, yeah, I do. I don't have any help. Yeah, I do, Megan. I do have to do it alone. I am alone, but I think I'm meaning something a little different. I think what I'm saying is that sometimes we are called to full surrender. Take that however you want it to be. Whether this is surrendering our own discipline and letting the mask slip while we talk to our loved ones, while we tell a friend, while we tell our mom, tell our sister, tell a close friend what we're going through about our struggles instead of keeping it in because we are strong, independent, and disciplined. Maybe that release of overwhelm and surrendering is to God, to asking for that divine assistance when you don't feel like you can bear it anymore, when you don't feel like you're able or capable of carrying anymore. Surrender. Maybe this means pivoting, realizing that where you've been and all the things that you've been building and all of the foundations that you thought were going to really make an important stepping stone for your life. Maybe this is a time where you realize that you are just acting out of your fear, out of your trauma, out of your self-doubt, self-sabotage, maybe out of your overwhelm even. Maybe you are building something that isn't based on where you're meant to go, but it's actually based on all this stuff that you're still holding on to. Maybe right now, this space feels liminal because you're in a passageway from your old life into your new one. Maybe when we go through these periods of deep conflict and struggle and overwhelm, maybe we are meant to just be. What does this mean? What does this mean when we're looking at the overarching picture of our life, when we are sitting in this stress, this tension, this overwhelm, this experience? Let's look back. How were you delivered from this in the past? How did this pattern exist before this moment? When did this start? When did these feelings, when did these foundational pieces start fitting together to create this story that you're living right now? And how does this moment share with you that all of it was leading up to this change? It wasn't leading up or counting down to some destructive, terrible moment. It feels that way now. But if we look through the story of our life, how did this go from all of these little pieces of a story and all of these patterns repeating, cycles repeating, to you being here in this moment saying, hey, where have I been in all that? Where's my focus? Where's my attention? What is my story? You come to this point, this liminal space where you're looking and you're just surrendering it all because you say, I did this for this long and got nothing I expected. I did this way for this long. I thought about it this way for this long, and it didn't lead to where I assumed it would lead. But instead, if you allow yourself to sit in this, in the overwhelm, in the flood, what will be left at the end? Whatever is left at the end, when there is peace, when there is just everything stripped back to the bare bones, what is left? And how was that piece that was left fortified to be saved at the end of this flood? Even rocks in the earth are destroyed by a flood, by water. Everything that is known, stripped away, destroyed, nothing left. What has been fortified within you? What is being fortified within you during this flood? What has been foundationally created, formed, molded, and structured so that it can not only survive this flood, but be strong enough to stand boldly and proudly after it. When the water goes away, what is going to be left? Because this period of time, if you are connecting with me on a period where you feel like you are just confused, overwhelmed, struggling, facing adversity, feeling like the waters just are beating you, what is there that you are being called to see has been being formed over this time? Because for me, there's a lot of realization of my strengths, my gifts, my skills, my abilities, and what I've been meaning to use those for, what I've been needing to use those for, why they have been built up over time with the way that they have, through pain, through struggle, through overwhelm, through discontentment, through suffering, through my tears, crying, through not understanding, through anger, through deep rage, through experiences that I thought would break me, through things that I didn't even know had a purpose. I've always felt like there was one, but when I'm in it, I struggle with self-doubt. I struggle with a lot of this doubt. But I am in a space like this right now. And one thing I'm realizing more than anything is that I have been given the life that I have so that I can be a testimony. I heard this earlier today. You can have 10 years of struggle so that you can make sure that somebody else can learn in 10 minutes the lesson. Everyone has a life story. And I'm just so grateful that I am learning what mine meant. So that through these videos, so that every week I can bring you something that I've had to learn so that you feel stronger, so that you can handle it, because I promise you, you can, and you're not alone, and I'm here for you.